For those people who love to fish through winter, January can be a very, very challenging month. This year we've had travel restrictions to contend with as well, and that proved it really, really difficult to get out there, get on the bank and catch some fish. Initially, I stayed within 5 miles of my home, right here in Sheffield in the UK, and there are some lovely stretches of river around here, around where I live, that run right through the Sheffield city centre. One of the first venues that I started to look at was the beautiful River Don. Now this is a river that a lot of you will be familiar with me fishing further afield at Sprotborough. I have done 2 or 3 videos on those stretches, but the river there is very, very different from what it is right here in my hometown of Sheffield. The river is much shallower and it's much narrower as well, and it lends itself more to species like trout and grayling. And when I first arrived there, I really couldn't wait to get stuck into an area known as salmon pastures. Now I'm currently putting together a fishing film about my exploits on this stretch of river, and the first time I went there, I've got to admit, the river looked really, really nice. However, I went there in order to just try and catch some fish on a bomb, on a ledger, and the fishing was very, very difficult. I soon realised that most of the fish that get caught there are really caught on float tactics, and I couldn't wait to get there the following day. And when I arrived there the next morning, I was faced with a very, very different river. Overnight we'd had some rain within the catchment area of the river, and the river started to rise, and that was really a massive turning point, because from that moment, for the course of the next 3 weeks, the river was in flood. That was partly because a lot of the rain that we had, but we also had a lot of snow as well. So unfortunately, I had to stop filming and putting together that film for you, just purely because the river was unfishable. My attentions then turned to a local reservoir that I've kind of really grew up on and spent a lot of time on as a kid, and that is Dam Flask Reservoir. That venue is only 4 miles away from where I live, and it's in quite a remote location, and it's absolutely stunning scenery. I couldn't wait to get up there and get some fishing done. However, I had spoke to about 6 of the locals that had fished the venue over the previous month, and not one of them had even caught a fish in that period. The reservoir gets fed from the water that runs off from the moors surrounding the reservoir, and so as you can imagine, when we get lots of rain, when we get lots of snow, the water levels rise. It turns the clarity of the water to, it's an almost tea or a peat colour, and that every year really just kills the reservoir. So I was fortunate enough to get up there and fish a couple of sessions there, and the fishing was incredibly difficult, and because there was so much water in there, it was literally going over the outfall and running down into the river. So that reservoir, whilst it was a stunning place to be and to spend a little bit of time, the fishing was just incredibly difficult, and far too difficult to put any sort of a fishing video together. So that only really left me with the options of commercial waters in this area. Now the first one that I went to was Loxley Fisheries. I filmed quite a few videos there and I caught quite a few fish. Those videos are already here on this channel, so if you want to take a look at those, they are there for you to watch, and they did even throw up 1 or 2 surprises. Another venue that I managed to get to was Aston Park Fisheries, and that made something of a different video altogether, as that was the first time I'd ever been there and taken the cameras along. Once again, we were faced with lakes that were frozen over. It was incredibly hard fishing. However, with a little bit of persistence, a little bit of patience and a few tweaks, I managed to catch a few fish, so that made it a thoroughly enjoyable session. However, whilst there were plenty of challenges to be had through January, not every session went to plan. There we go. Yes, got one. Well, it was -3 degrees last night. Most of the lake is frozen over. There aren't any spots really free at the moment on this lake, but this bit here, it's just got a bit of cat ice on it, so I think I can break that with a bomb and then get to them clear spots out there where I'm hoping we're going to catch 1 or 2 fish. Net's frozen already. Just had a look at the temperature on the van and it says it's -1 degree now. Just going to be fishing with a free running rig, just bread. That's all I've got with me today. This ice is moving now. The bit that I've cleared is moving, but I'm going to get a rod out there. Then I'm going to clear this bit here, where hopefully I'm going to need that space to net a fish. No signs on that. I'm just going to go to the right now, where it's a little bit clearer, towards that floating raft just there. There's loads of open water there, but I'll still have to keep my rod up off the water, just to, well, off the ice basically. It is moving around a little bit, but I don't think it'll be a problem if we hook a fish. Really simple bait tray, as you can imagine today. I've just got 2 slices of bread, that's all I brought with me. I think that's going to be way too much. I've got a stopwatch so I can time my castings or just have an idea of how long it's been in, and a flask, very important at this time of year. Just going to start on 10-minute casts, putting the bomb in different places around the swim. At the moment I'm just over here towards this right hand raft, which is a floating raft, so it is moving a little bit, but it is tethered. There is one there, but I can't get to that one now. I've just had one 10-minute cast there, so at the moment I'm just in that clear spot there. Got the rod up, so it's just over that ice. Well, that's the first bite. And that's not what I expected. That was on 3 10mm pieces of bread. But it was great to see the tip go, and it's avoided the blank. Not quite the specimen I was after, but nevertheless it's good to catch a fish. Well, the rig that I'm using is really simple. All it is a free running rig. It's a free running bomb, as you can see on a snap link swivel. I've got a rubber stopper, and then 15 centimetres below that I've got the air rig, and that is it. I'm now fishing 4 discs of 10mm bread, just because I think there's 1 or 2 small roach there. I've just had a couple of little taps and rattles, and hopefully that extra disc on there will just make it a bigger bait and just deter them slightly. The only thing I haven't got today, unfortunately, normally I would be very mobile on a peg like this. Fishing this method, I could drop the bomb in different areas, but unfortunately because of the ice, I've only really got a gap of about 2.5 to 3 metres where I can actually put the rig, and that's where, you know, I do expect 1 or 2 fish to be there. But whilst, you know, I can't be mobile, I'm still confident that it's an area where there must be 1 or 2 fish passing through. Ah, yes, we've got one. Hey up. A silverfish. It's gone into that ice. The only trouble with smaller fish, they're not really going to break that ice up. What we got? Could be a skimmer, this one. Oh, that ice is much thicker there. Oh, that's not going to cut the hook length off. It is. He's coming over. Oh, he's off. Yeah, it was a skimmer. Oh, that's a shame. But we knew that was going to be the problem. To the right here, where I was casting. So that time I actually cast to that raft straight in front of me. So my line was going over that bit of ice. It is breaking up slightly, as you can see here. There is a way through here, and it is only cat ice. Unfortunately, that fish was a bit small, so we couldn't get it through. But never mind, I'll go back to that same spot again, see if we can get one. Just getting little taps now, little indications. I've just put the bomb in between the 2 floating rafts. It's only been in, 4 minutes. Just getting little knocks. I think they're going to be small fish again. That raft of ice has, or sheet of ice has actually moved over that spot now. So my bomb's actually underneath the ice at the moment. But it is clear coming back to me, but they look like small fish. Just knocking it. think there are some little roach there today. I'm just going to go back to that right hand raft now. It's quite a while since I've cast over there, so that bit of a rest might help. There we go, lovely. Let's see if we can nick one from that raft now. There we go. Yes, got one. Alright, let's see if we can get him out now. It's going under that ice. Keep that rod down and try and play him under the ice so I get him near this net area where it's clear. Just kiting to my right now. Definitely had an indication there was a fish there. See if we can get him up. What have we got here? Big silverfish. Is it an hide? It's a big hide. Or is it a chub? I think it's a chub. Let's have a look. It is. It's a beautiful chub. Look at that. It's a long time since I've caught a chub. Oh yeah, fantastic. It's absolutely freezing. Hooked right in the middle. Right in the middle of his top lip. Look at that. Bang in the centre. Just look at the size of the mouth. You see the teeth down there as well. I'd heard that there was lots of chub in here, but I haven't caught any. I just don't really fish that way that these fish get caught. What a beautiful fish, look at that. A long time since I've caught a chub. He's like a block of ice. It's absolutely freezing. And what a beautiful fish. Fantastic, brilliant any time of year, but certainly very welcome on a day like today. Popping back so we can get another one. Fantastic. Another surprise. I can't actually get the bomb back to where we just caught that now because another sheet of ice has actually gone over it. It was right on the corner of that raft. So I'm just going to have to go further to the left now for this cast. I'll just wait while it passes and then I'll put it back on that same spot again. Just see if I can pick my spot where this is not going to go over any ice. I'm just going to go to the point of this closer raft. There we go. Position the rod a little bit further over to the left, just so there's a bit of an angle in the rod. That's nice and clean there. Actually, the line's going to lay in the water, which is good. Oh, that was a really positive pull, and there was nothing there. It didn't look like a small fish, that one. There we go. Yes, we've got him. We'll come straight to the top. Get him over here. Might be another skim of this one. Coming through that ice. Is it a roach? Let's net him. I think it's a roach. That's on 3. Lovely little roach. There we go. That's on 3 10mm discs. Very confident that. Beautiful. Yes, he's got to be on. He is. Got him. Playing through this gap here. There we go. What we got this time? Let's net him. Could be a different species, this one. It could be an hide, a little hide. Is it an hide? Let's have a look. Lovely condition. Yeah, it is. There we go. That's another species for you. Just shows you that fishing like this, it's not all about carp or bust. You can catch silverfish when they're there. Really positive bite as well, right in the middle of the bottom lip. Freezing cold. Well, I've got 15 minutes to get packed up and get back to the van before they lock the gates. I thought we were going to catch some more. We had a few little indications that there have been fish milling about. I fished here yesterday and I didn't get attention from any small fish. All I caught yesterday was 2 very big fish, and I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video for you. But it's been a very enjoyable session in very testing conditions. Hope you've enjoyed me sharing this with you, and if you have, please hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.